Greetings folks, and I hope you're all fit and well wherever you are in collecting land, and welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure preview. So overnight Hot Toys have dropped another Predator Badlands figures on us, well rather two figures from the 2025 surprisingly good Dan Trachtenberg directed movie and his follow-up to the excellent Prey. But before we dive in and take a look at the pictures that Hot Toys have dropped on us, I would like to send a Yautja size shout out to everybody who supported the channel, and please drop a like and hype on this video as it helps other people find Go Figure. And if you haven't already, be sure to mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the 1/6 scale reviews, previews, news, tours, showcases and all that other good stuff that we've got coming up. So let's dive in and take a look at what they are offering us. And there's no real surprise here. I think these figures were to be expected after they dropped the half Thia and deck on us earlier this year. I suppose this was inevitable, but I for one am very, very pleased to see them. So let's take a look at the photos. And the first shot is of course, Thia and Bud, her little alien friend who helps her along the way. And I've got to say, photography here is very, very good, and first impressions are excellent, I have to say. What we've got here in this first shot is Thia and Bud in their Weyland-Yutani raincoats from the, and this is the final sort of section of the movie, the final scenes of the movie, where Thia's been put back together again and is no longer half Thia. And I think straight away these are looking excellent. Proportions look on point, although little Bud there I think is raised up a little bit to fit him in shot. The Weyland-Yutani coveralls look brilliant. Apparently they are wired not in the body but around the head section here, so you can pose them around the heads of the characters themselves, and they look really, really good. I'm not sure what material's been used here. I'm going to assume it's some kind of coated plastic or man-made fibre that's been coated to give it that shiny, water-resistant look. You've got the Weyland-Yutani symbol on the front there. Bud we've seen before, and the Thia head sculpt we've seen before. I'm going to assume that Hot Toys are reusing the head sculpt from the half Thia, which is fine by me. If it ain't broke, don't try and fix it, and I think that's an excellent head sculpt. So yeah, first impressions very, very good. Bud's face peeping out there looks on point, screen accurate, as does the head sculpt for Thia, so as played by Elle Fanning. Let's zip on to the next shot. Close up, head and shoulders of Thia here. Now, as I've mentioned previously, and as I've had commented to me on the channel, it can be very, very difficult, especially with a particularly attractive person, to capture that head sculpt in 1/6 scale. And I've got to say, as far as female head sculpts go, and I've got a lot of Hot Toys in the collection, they can be a little bit hit and miss. This one I think is an absolute hit. It looks as good as the half Thia. Obviously we're looking at sculpted hair here, and to me that looks absolutely on point. The color is right, the style is correct with that slightly longer section on one side than the other. Individual strands are picked out, and overall I think it's super impressive. We're getting a first look at this body and suit as well. We've got a clutch in the pulse rifle. The suit itself looks screen accurate, obviously from when she's been reassembled. They're using some kind of plastic material that they mentioned in the blurb there. Not 100% certain what it is. Longevity is always a question when we see suits like this. Will it crack? Will it rip? Will it split? Hopefully by this point it should be pretty hard wearing. Hot Toys have had enough bites of the apple to be getting this right, but they can always cause controversy as well. But as far as the screen accuracy goes, to me that looks excellent. You've got those that skin tight sort of body hugging material, that textured area on the shoulders there. those stripes that run throughout the suit, and we've got what looks like spatters of android blood as well going on here, the white stuff on the wrists. There's dirt and weathering there at the wrist section, and the hands look excellent too. So first impressions, this is looking very promising, and I actually enjoyed the movie a lot more than I expected to. I've sort of been on the fence about diving in with the 6-scale figures from this movie, but the announcement of the deck at least sort of put paid to that idea, and I think it's an excellent looking Predator figure, although not a completionist as far as Preds go, particularly in other medium. The movies ones I do tend to jump in with, so sort of changed my opinion this movie when it was released, but it went in a different direction. It was brave enough to do it, and it did it exceptionally well. But enough of my ramblings about the film. We're here to see the figure. Another head and shoulders shot here in that sort of classic weapon up mode, and I think it looks brilliant. Proportions look nailed on. The chest area looks great. We're seeing that hint of where she's been reattached at the waist area there. That looks great. The pulse rifle, I'm going to assume, is in sculpted plastic, and it looks great. You've got those whites, those greys, the detailing looks fantastic. You've got the Weyland-Yutani symbol on the sign, once again screen accurate, and that headshot, that head sculpt rather, the shot here, I can't fault that. The skin tones look excellent. It is unmistakably Elle Fanning, unmistakably Thia, and looking very, very good indeed. So on to the next. We've got the pair of them together. Now, proportionally, let's talk Thea first. I think they've got the body just right. That looks absolutely on point. Very, very good figure, Elle Fanning, and it wasn't hidden in the movie, and Hot Toys have nailed it for me. And they've nailed that suit as well. Question marks over longevity aside, I think that suit looks phenomenal. The body looks great. Articulation in that suit, we'll have to wait and see. Apparently, 28 points of articulation, so articulation should be good, and it's looking good in these shots. And we're seeing the full suit, yeah, and it just works. Those sort of black flats going on there, the boots maybe underneath, and as I mentioned before, that white detailing looking great. Can't see the waist area, but I'm sure we'll get to that. And overall, yeah, proportions look phenomenal. Love that slightly head down shot there. I think this is looking really, really good indeed. Let's hope this prototype matches the production model that we get, but most of the time, very little fall off with Hot Toys between the shots that we see for pre-order and what we actually get in the box. But Bud, let's talk Bud. Looks great. Yeah, can't argue here. The proportions are nailed on. Sculpted hard plastic body, as we mentioned in the previous preview for the deck and Thea. And yeah, I really cannot fault that. The texturing is there on the body, the proportions are there, the hands look great with those sort of talon nails at the end. Face, absolutely spot on with that slight hunched look. You've got the super shiny, super glossy green eyes, which are screen accurate. Yeah, I can't see anything wrong here at all. On to the next. Another shot here. Same sort of setup, but from a slightly different angle. Loving this Thea figure, really, really am. I think they've done a superb job here. Obviously, we're going to get multiple swap out hands for holding this pulse rifle, which we'll see at the obligatory all shot at the end there. But yeah, first impressions are very, very good. But what are your thoughts on this? Is this something you're going to be hitting that PO button for? Let's take a look at the next shot. Another full-length shot here, and we're seeing that sort of repaired rip in that suit for the first time, and the detailing looks great. I'm just going to lean in here to see this. Yeah, you've got that sort of the milky white blood substance running down from the waist area there, and that obvious section where she's been reattached. And once again, Bub looking very promising indeed. On to the next. We've got Thea just in suit, but Bub in the coverall there. Looks like she's sort of holding her coverall as well. They work really well, and we're seeing this base for the first time. Glad to see that they've avoided the traditional Hot Toys hexagon here. What we've got is this sort of industrial look from the final scenes of the movie, where they're at the complex, and looks great. Not too big, not too small. Yeah, we've sort of got what looks like meant to be masonry maybe, with some industrial edges to it. You've got a sort of a yellow section there, not close enough to really pick out the details. But we've got the full usual nameplate on the front, Predator Badlands, no doubt saying Thia and Bud underneath there. Yeah, it does. So yeah, looking very impressive indeed. No hint of whether this is a crotch grabber or a waist grabber. Sure, we'll get to that. On to the next, another shot, 3/4 shot here of Thia again, getting closer to that detailing there on the suit where she's been reassembled. I think that looks great. It looks really good, sort of that off milky white, blotchy effect, and you've got weathering around where she's been put back together again. And there's weathering all over this suit as far as I can see. We've got some on the arms there, the wrist we've mentioned, around the chest area. Want to get close to this head sculpt, want to see the detailing on this head sculpt, because it's got a unique feature, this one, that we didn't see with the half Thia, which I am quite intrigued by. Ask and you shall receive a close-up of the head sculpt. I think that looks superb. Correct me in the comment section below if it's an old man who needs glasses, but I think that works. Skin tones look absolutely on point there. Sculpt can't be faulted as far as its likeness to Elle Fanning. Eyes are the right colour, super glassy. Now we've even got these marks here, these sort of scars going on, and they look very, very well done indeed. Very, very subtle. You've got one on the chin there. You've got the one on the side of the cheek, screen accurate on the chest area. We've got this sort of severed area around the neck where it's ragged and cut and messy with weathering around it as well. All looking very good. As I said before, the only thing that concerns me here really is the longevity of this suit. I'm going to assume they're going to be using something like the Hot Toys using their Spider-Man figures, which can be problematic. Sometimes they're not the best for remaining skin tight and in one piece for any length of time. But yeah, we're going to keep our fingers crossed on this one. Hair, as we mentioned, looking on point. On to the next, full on of that head sculpt. And as I mentioned before on the previous shot, I can't fault this. Looks like Hot Toys have hit a home run again. Skin tones, textures, all the usual suspects, present and correct, weathering great, suit accurate. This is the kind of figure that Hot Toys should be doing in their sleep, so it's good to see that they haven't dropped the ball in any area by the looks of it to me. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Those eyes look great. On to the next. Now, talking of eyes, this is the unique feature that I mentioned before here. As people who've seen the film will know, she gets the old milky eye thing going on in the film, and Hot Toys have included that in the figure. It actually works with the purse system. I'm going to assume that you've got an eyeball section in the back of the head sculpt there that pops out, and you can pop these two in. No doubt, once again, the old shot will show us that, but I think that I love this look. I really, really like this look, and I think Hot Toys, once again, at the risk of sounding like a cracked record, have nailed it here, even down to the Weyland-Yutani symbol in the eyes there. And I do love the sort of the crossover, the universe crossover hints here from Dan Trachtenberg in Badlands. We see a lot of Weyland-Yutani, the base there being a Yutani base. I just like that crossover idea, and the fact that Hot Toys have managed to get that symbol in the eyes, maintaining the screen accuracy and looking very cool indeed. So on to the next shot. We've got a shot here of inevitably with Deck in the background. If you're picking up one, I can't really, for me, I can't do that. It's not in my nature. If I'm going to get one of these figures, I'm going to go all in. So really, that's a trio there that will be inevitable. But yeah, we've got the Deck figure in the background looking excellent, and a really good figure, that one, or at least it looks great in the pre-order photos. And these have it gives us a good idea of how the three interact together, and I think they look marvelous. I really do, with Thia front and center there, highlighting that suit and all the detailing on it. On to the next. Just zoomed in a little bit here. A bit lazy that one, but Hot Toys have a tendency to do that with their pre-order photos. You get one, then it's either a slightly different angle or just zoomed in ever so slightly. But yeah, looking very good. That detailing, as we mentioned, where she's been put back together, all great and on point. Back to the Weyland-Yutani raincoats, coveralls, and that works as well. Yeah, I don't think they're wide around the bottom here or around the cuff section, so that's going to be a natural fall, but it looks great. And I think Bud just looks so comical in this coverall. I think it's a great look. Just puts a smile on my face, and yeah, I think that's an excellent look there. A close-up of the little fella in his raincoat, and just works. You know, that's it. It does what it says on the tin, and it does it very well. Those hands look phenomenal there. I love the expression on the face there, and the skin tones, textures, as we mentioned when we first saw this guy, look great. Those eyes are really, really well done, and obviously movable as well, so you can go for all kinds of funky expressions in your display. We've got one here of Thia on her own in that coverall. Expressive hand being used in this pose. I think that works as well. Lighting very good here on Hot Toys photography, and yeah, just works. Just simply works. And I do like this raincoat look. So it'd be great when the display's starting to get a little bit stale. You can throw these on and reinvigorate your interest in the IP. Close up there of her with the coverall on as well. Doesn't look like there's an awful lot of weathering going on there, but I think they were relatively new when they donned this apparel in that end portion of the movie. So yeah, wouldn't expect to see that much weathering on there. On to the next. Once again, all three of them together, and as I mentioned before, they interact really, really well. Make a cracking little shelf in the display, and I think it's going to be all in for Mr. Go Figure. It's got that feeling of inevitability coming over me again, but yeah, just working really well together. On to the proportions here now. This is something that I'm, having been in the collecting game for many, many years. It's really great to see Hot Toys addressing this issue, because we've seen it on numerous occasions historically of figures with a few years between them from different IPs, or even sometimes released relatively close to each other, having a scaling issue. And this time it looks like Hot Toys have decided to put that to bed forever, and in their recent releases they've been giving us these proportional shots here. Great to see, and once again, as I mentioned before, they all work together. So yeah, looking very, very good. The eye system, obviously we've got the purrs as we mentioned before. I'm not going to bang on about that. It's a standard these days, and I think it's wonderful. But we've also got the whited out eyes, the Weyland-Yutani eyes there. Now it says 2 pairs of interchangeable eyes, separate rolling eyeballs. Doesn't really show us how that interchangeable thing works, but as I mentioned before, I think it's just going to be the standard pull out, push in situation. Raincoats for Thia and Bud, as we mentioned before, with bendable wire in the hood. Thumbs up there. And finally, the all shot. Okay, so we've talked about Thia and Bud on the left there. None of these shots we haven't already seen, so you're not missing anything in the right-hand corner here if Mr. Go Figure's fat head is in the way. Covered the eyes, covered the rifle, the coveralls, the cut in the waist section there. Looks like we've got three pairs of swap out hands, 6 hands in total, and that base that we've already talked about. So when is this due? Well, let me double check this. It went up for pre-order today, or at least a few hours ago. We're looking at somewhere around April, September 2027 release on this. So we've got over here, got to wait on this one. And the price looks to be, now don't quote me on this, I'm picking this up from a third-party source here, but it looks to be, for the set of both of these figures, $270, that's US, which converts to about £203. Now, as I say, I'm not sure whether these figures are entirely accurate, but if they are, this represents something which we don't normally see with Hot Toys, which is exceptional value for money as well. But as I say, don't quote me on that figure, that may be incorrect, but if it is right, another thumbs up there in the pricing for Hot Toys. But what are your thoughts on these figures? What are your thoughts on the Dan Trachtenberg Predator movies? What are your thoughts on Hot Toys? What are your thoughts on Thia and Bud? What are your thoughts on Deck? What are your thoughts on the movie? What are your thoughts on anything at all? Nothing is off menu, so please drop a comment in the comment section below. I would be fascinated to hear your take, and I would love to hear from you. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, there's plenty more 1/6 scale reviews, figure reviews. We've got stuff from Hot Toys, In Art, Susu Toys, Present Toys, Caustic Plastic, XO6, Iconic Studios, the list goes on. We've got more previews, we've got more tours, showcases, best ofs, and all that other good stuff on the channel. And I guess that about wraps it up for this preview, folks. I hope it's been useful and I hope you've enjoyed it. I suppose all that remains for me to say is from myself, from Thia and from Bub, a massive thank you for watching, as always. And until next time on the channel, take care of yourselves and happy collecting.